Hare Krishna, I'm Anutama. I'm a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. My husband and I live on a simple living, high-thinking project in Western Washington where we care for cows and try to produce most of our necessities. I'm making this video because between now and the end of the year, we have an amazing opportunity, astrologically speaking. Now, I'm not a professional astrologer, but I have studied the subject in a bit of depth. And my understanding of astrology is that it's not some kind of woo-woo, ethereal kind of thing. It's actually more like physics. And the way it works is as the planets travel through the various different signs of the zodiac are almost like environments. And so what's happening right now is that Saturn is in the environment of Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is a sign that's ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter in Sanskrit is called Guru. And so Jupiter deals with things like justice, religiosity, philosophy, and things like that. And then Sagittarius is the environment that he owns is something almost like you could say like a holy place. So when the planets travel through this, then they pick up the frequency of truth and justice. And so what we're having between now and the end of the year, the two slow planets, Jupiter and Saturn, being in Sagittarius, and at various different times joined by the faster planets that come through there. But in addition, there's Ketu, which adds an element of surprise. Ketu rules over like sinful places, like places of intoxication, but also over holy places. So this is, we would anticipate that during these transits of the slower planets going through Sagittarius, that in people's consciousness in general, the frequency will be about being able to accept truth and also demanding justice. So as devotees, this is an opportunity because there is various different instances within our spiritual masters movement that we need to demand justice. I recently took a law course, and as part of my studies, I was reading Blackstone's Commentaries on Law. It was actually written in the 18th century, but is the foundation of understanding common law and the civil law that we have right now. Anyway, Blackstone's he said you can summarize law into three different basic concepts. One is to live honestly. The second is hurt nobody, and the third one is give everyone his due. And so in speaking of justice within Srila Prabhupada's movement, it's actually our due. We owe it to the children because we're a society. And what we're seeing in ISKCON with the children is heartbreaking. I just recently watched the second part of Shanaka Rishi's Cost of Silence, and he completely substantiates the idea that it is a policy within ISKCON to put the child abusers in charge, in contact with the children. This is unacceptable. And right now we have the astrological opportunity that we can make sure it is our right to demand justice and truth for these children. The things that are going on it is heartbreaking. And a lot of people turn a blind eye to it and think it's okay somebody else's problem. No, it's not. It's our society. It's our responsibility to do something for the children. The other point is what is happening with the BBT's money. In a previous video titled, Where's the Money?, I talk about the cash flow that's coming in because of Srila Prabhupada's copyrights. There's probably, conservatively, a $20 million per year cash flow, of which half of it is supposed to go into a building fund to pay for other buildings or to help expand the movement. We don't know what's happening to that money. We do know there's no checks and balances. We do know there's no transparency. So again, this is another thing that is our duty. These copyrights belong to Srila Prabhupada, so it's our duty, not only our right, but it's our duty to insist that there's transparency, that we find out what's happening to this money and that it's used correctly. And the third point that we need to insist on with justice and truth is who is the final authority in ISKCON? I've been outside of ISKCON for some time, although I consider myself to be in my heart, I'm an ISKCON member, but I don't consider the institution called ISKCON right now to be Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON, because I don't think that Srila Prabhupada's the final authority in this movement that's called ISKCON right now, which I think is a pseudo ISKCON. I've heard that if people want to serve in the temple, that they have to sign a document swearing loyalty to the GBC, not to Srila Prabhupada. So anyway, we need to do something about this to reestablish that Srila Prabhupada is the final authority. And it's not right that the GBC can say some people can't associate within temples. Srila Prabhupada never excommunicated a single person, and he would never disallow somebody to associate because that person understood his instructions differently than the GBC understands it. Every disciple has a right to understand his spiritual master's instructions according to his own realizations. So now is the time. We've got it astrologically in our favor to demand the truth and justice. Demand truth and justice for the children. Demand truth and justice for Srila Prabhupada's copyrights. Demand truth and justice for Srila Prabhupada's movement, putting Srila Prabhupada back as the final authority in his movement. So this video is a call out to other people who resonate with these ideas, who want to take the responsibility to please Srila Prabhupada. And I'm going to be putting together a group of people. Please contact me. My email's available. We'll be having meetings. We have different plans, legal and otherwise plans. So please give me a call, and let's bring truth. Let's take advantage of this opportunity. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.